What's going on, everybody? This is Patrick with MTL Productions. In this video, we're going to be talking about Sony's first digital camera. Come back. Alright guys, welcome back. Let's dig into this camera because we got a lot to talk about, got a lot to show you because I'm doing everything in one video. I'm showing you the camera, doing the first roll, everything in this video. So, Sony Alpha A100. I'll pick her up and we'll tool her around a little bit. This camera was announced in June of 06. So I would imagine it was out and ready around Christmas time of that year, so that everybody that had thousands of dollars to throw away at the time could purchase this bad boy. Because you can damn well bet back in 2006 it probably was about $1,000 to get this thing in your hands. Now, 10 megapixels camera. It was a CCD sensor in this camera, so it's not a CMOS and it's not a full frame, it's a CCD. Now, there are people out there that argue left and right how good this sensor really was versus it was trash. The biggest problem the sensor really had was it was a power thirsty son of a gun. So it required battery. Now I can tell you right now, I don't know what most people were talking about, because I've had this thing out shooting several times and on one battery. I've shot for a whole day. Now we're talking maybe 45, 50 pictures in that day's time, but no thousands of pictures, but I didn't go through a whole battery in a day's time. Now, this thing is pretty basic as far as what all it'll do. It does have auto ISO, and you do have ISOs from 100 to 1600. The other cool things it will, it does shoot raw photos, which is a good thing. That's what we're always looking for, is raw photos, so you can play with them in post and edit. And we will take a look at those raw photos when we go to the computer. Sensor shift, or what they call their image stabilization. So it tries to stabilize the picture as you're holding the camera to take video or take pictures. Like I said, it does shoot raw, it does shoot JPEG, quality levels of fine and standard. It does have aperture priority and shutter priority. Storage type is a compact flash type 1 or 2, which is this little bad boy right here. Now I know this may be foreign to some of you, but if you've been shooting digital for a long time, you may have seen one or two of these at some point. But this one is, this is a memory stick duo adapter for a compact flash slot. So what it has is a memory stick in it, in this compact flash card. That's how Sony did it. You can also get just a compact flash card itself. Everybody makes them to put them in there. They're kind of getting expensive. I just had to buy one for my Canon 5D Mark II, and man, I think a lot of those things. Anyway, the big thing with this thing is 1 pound 41 ounces. 1 pound, guys. This thing is hefty. By the time you stick one of the big lenses on the end of it, that day I was actually just shooting with the 50, but I have a 35 to 80 and I have an 80 to 100. I think it's the way the other one goes. It does have built-in flash that you raise up manually. There's all your top controls. As you can see right there, you have controls on the back. You can view your pictures, delete them if you don't want it. There's where you turn on your steady shot or image stabilization right there. Flip it down, turn it off. I couldn't tell any different. Well, I can tell some difference. I can tell you that it takes really good pictures. Now, there's one thing you're probably not seeing on this camera that you will not see on this camera. It does not shoot video. at all. Still pictures only, no video on this camera whatsoever. There's not even anything on the control knob that would suggest video anywhere on this camera. You can change your focusing range, you can turn your flash on and off, you know, you can do all that stuff. Now the flash is not automatic, it doesn't pop up if it needs it. You do have to pop it up. I'm thoroughly impressed with the images I got out of this camera. For a 17-year-old camera, it's outstanding. It has great ergonomics. Man, I stumbled saying that. It just right. It's a big camera, so you're going to get all your hands on it. I've got an extra large glove hand, so I get all my camera, you know, my fingers on it. My pinky kind of rides off, but that's no real big deal. But when I'm shooting with this camera, I can one-hand manipulate it with no problems. So I like it. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to hold on to it. Like I said, that's Sony's first digital camera. And so let's get over to the computer and we'll take a look at some of the images I picked up on the day that I took this thing out shooting. All right, guys, so here's the pictures I took last weekend with the Sony Alpha A100. Went to some of the areas of town, went to the lake areas that I go to quite a bit to take said pictures, and caught this boat going across the water. Now remember, I'm shooting 50mm only. I didn't take any of the other zoom lenses with me, so I was shooting straight up 50mm. And this is what came out of the camera. Like I said, I have yet to edit any of these videos or photos from this camera. So anyway, this is shooting around the lake. A fairly nice day out, pretty clear. I like this picture a lot. That turned out really cool. I never realized how it lined up looking up the road. I just laid my stick there, messing with it. But anyway, I went over to the other part of the lake, and there were some ducks swimming around. Got pictures of those guys, and these seagulls were sitting on a stick coming out. Actually, here in a second, this one didn't turn out worth a crap. There's a boat sitting there. I could probably screw with it a little bit and add some exposure to it. There we go. You can see the boat now. A little bit of contrast. But anyway, like I said, I hadn't messed with the pictures at all on this thing. I was able to catch one of the gulls flying, starting to take off. When I zoom in, man, look how clear that is. And remember, this is a 10 megapixel camera, but it's that CCD sensor that makes all the difference in the world. And 10 megapixels with a CMOS sensor would look way different. Wouldn't be nearly as clear. And I mean, look here how much detail you get of the bird. So I went on up into town a little bit. This is a local shopping area. The trees up. So I took a couple pictures of it. Now this is where I'm going to test the bokeh out on this particular camera. A couple sitting there just hanging out and chilling around the tree. Pretty sure there was no drug activity involved in that picture. Anyway, so we're looking more at the Christmas tree, and so I started doing some up close and personal with the tree because the couple just didn't seem like they were with it. And tried a couple different little angle shots looking up the tree. Finally, got that. Ooh. Anyway, so here's where we started trying to mess with the bokeh. And you can see the blue ball is what I was focusing on, because if you're a guy, you've had it before, and you see how blurry the background is. So it really lends itself really well, that 50mm 1.7. Even on this one, I'm focusing more on this silver ball here not so much this one. So now this one's kind of blurred and your background's kind of blurred. But you can focus in on that ball and you can see how clear it is. But you focus in on this one, it's definitely blurry. Even this blue ball here comes out pretty darn clear. So I thought I would catch a couple of sunsets. And I swear to God, the last time I was at this next place to capture a sunset, I'm pretty damn sure that every power line in the town did not run through there, but now it does. They stuck every power line they could think of right here in the prettiest place for a sunset, which you're on top of a hill looking at another hill that the sun's sitting behind. And that would have been so pretty had all this crap not been in the way. But anyway, I digress. So I went ahead and took, another, still 500 power lines running through it. Well, I thought I'd get this again. Once again, you've got, you can't do nothing with power lines except for cut down the power poles. And my, wife would have to bail me out and all that good stuff. Anyway, so I snapped a couple of pictures of this tall grass here, and you can see again how the bokeh did in the background. It blurred out the other field behind it. Now I threw my tripod case up here on top of the truck, and that really shows you how much it blocks out behind you and getting that blurry background and toned into that Minolta's logo and everything. So I thought I'd try it again with, there's only 300 power lines running through this shot, which ended up, it would have been gorgeous if it wasn't for the damn power lines. But I digress, and there's another place I could have gone and probably gotten the same shot without the power lines. We'll be going there next. Anyway, so I took a quick picture of the moon because it was looking quite ripe. You focus in on it a little bit, you can make out the dark spots in the moon, but it starts getting blurry with that 50 millimeter. You're asking a lot out of that thing. So the very last picture I took, we don't have all the power lines in the sunset, but we have all the power or the light poles sticking up everywhere. I could edit this down pretty easily to get something worthwhile. Take the let's see, squeeze there, and a little squeeze here, and then go back to it, and then you have that left over. So you could come up with something, but it's still, if it was up to me, we would put power lines underground and screw all these power poles and light poles that you just take a chance on, getting knocked down. I understand it's the cheapest way to do it, but hey, I'm against them messing up our shots. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's a few shots I took with the Sony Alpha A100. Now let's get back to one. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Sony Alpha A100. It will be back next year sometime. We'll do some experiments with it. We'll get it out there on the streets. We'll get it out there in the woods and all that good stuff, and we'll do some serious shooting with it. But that's it for this one. I appreciate you watching. Get out, shoot something. Get out and video something. Post it somewhere. Never know. See you.